Mark.
Hold on. Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. That was all. Just a quick sound check. Did you have?
Can you hear me now?
Can we just let you talk? So, how was your day today? Was it a good one?
Yeah, very good, mate. Yeah, I was only on the training from about 7 till about 9, I think.
Oh, 7 in the morning.
Yes, it was nice.
Well,
So what's happening with you then? You're turning into Grizzly Adam.
you like it?
What is it? Your obsession with hair?
I know. It's like, when am I going to get a chance to do that? It's.
I know. Cool, mate. Cool.
Unheard of.
How many are you expecting then?
Well, we've got 46 booked in.
Yeah.
Normally we've got a few more than just one at this stage. So I better not drive if it's just me. It could be a very short webinar.
It could be very intimate.
So, Mark, welcome. Can you imagine if no one else turns up? How funny that would be.
No, I'm sure they're all on their way. You sure you haven't got them in the waiting room?
We've got someone else.
And now Aiden is with us.
They're pouring in now. Pouring.
Hang on, can Mark talk? Let's see if Aiden can talk.
Do you have to?
They're all coming in now. Right, Mark, we're going to mute you, sir, and catch up with you later. Good, they're all turning up. So that was funny, wasn't it? Can you imagine if nobody had turned up? That would have been a first.
Yeah, we did actually think that was how it was going to pan out this evening. Oh no.
Leave the chats on.
Hello, everyone.
Very funny.
Thank you for coming.
No, that's good. So you get a meeting notification, so people will go, oh no, we better come in. But we'll give it a few more minutes to let some people start. So if this is your first one of the Bianca and Adam sessions, welcome. If you're a regular, you must be mad for keep coming back. And you'll have seen over the months that we've been doing this, my hair get longer and longer, and Bianca get more and more beautiful.
No.
But anyway, so that's very interesting. So we've got more coming in. So welcome Anthony, Aiden, Mark, Max, and Val.
Always tunes in.
Excellent to see the regulars. They're coming in. Good.
Hi, Katie.
And yeah, funny, first day of March. So you asked me about the Ides of March before.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what they are?
No.
So question out there to the group. Who knows what the Ides of March are? Get your fingers on the buzzers. No prizes. What do you think?
You've definitely spoken to me about it.
Absolutely.
I don't remember.
So there was the Oracle said to Julius Caesar, the Oracle or three hags said, beware the Ides of March. Ides of March is 15th of March, known as the Ides. And that was the day that his best friend Brutus and the rest of the Senate rose up and stabbed him and killed him.
Oh gosh.
So there you go. Beware the Ides of March. So I tend not to do anything on the Ides of March, to be honest with you. Like I certainly don't act like a Roman emperor.
No, because when you did a similar session to what we're going to do today, but quite different. But when was it? It was about a year ago, and I remember it specifically, funnily enough, because you said beware the Ides of March, and it was a similar time that you did a very similar webinar to what we're doing today. On the
15th. Yeah. Well, the thing is, chaps, I was talking to Bianca today about a webinar that we did some time ago on May the 7th, which is my birthday. And she called me a loser, which I thought was really nice. It's really nice of her to do that to a dear old dad with his ever-growing long hair.
Oh, dear.
So...
he's not really. It's just...
What?
We wanted to hang out with you, and you did it on your birthday. You chose to do it on your birthday. Anyway.
You got our adoring public want to hear our talks, and how dare we let them down? How dare we let them down? So let's, if you work 2 more minutes and then we will get going. I think it's always enjoyable to do these sort of things. I enjoy them. I know you don't particularly enjoy the half an hour before they start, but once they start, I think you enjoy them, don't you?
I do enjoy them, yeah.
You don't enjoy the half an hour beforehand?
No.
So you're rolling in now, which is great. I'm so pleased because we did actually think we were going to have none, but hey ho, we'd have still continued. We'd have still delivered, even to 1, because that's how we roll. So project restart.
Yes.
Bianca, would you like to introduce yourself to the people? Because some people may not have seen us or
there's some new. We've got some new attendees. Yes, I'm Bianca. I'm Adam's daughter. We are, of course, both.
Together we are cellular attitude.
We make up cellular attitude, and I'm a sales trainer, motivational sales trainer, and yeah, we love putting on these webinars. I do get a little bit nervous before, I will admit, but once I'm in it, I'm absolutely fine. But yeah.
And I'm Adam Caplan, Bianca's father, and very, very fortunate to be her business partner as well. So we do these things because we like to give back. We think it's important for people to have the opportunity of that support, particularly in a very unusual time like it's been. And that's why we're talking about Project Restart now, because we are in uncharted waters, a time that we've never been there in our lives before. And so I just want to talk about what we're going to talk about today and sort of cover in a sort of summary, and then we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to talk about what we talked about. So it's a very, very good staple if ever you're doing in public speaking. Tell them what you're going to tell them. Tell them what you told them. Very simple public speaking trope, and it really works. So what we're going to discuss today is 1, why restart up? 2, when did you last review your sales plan? 3, have trading conditions changed? You know, what's different? Are you, your customers, what people buy, how they buy, has that changed? Number 4, does your mission statement need to be updated? Number 5, have your goals changed? Are your life and financial goals different? Number 6, do your KPIs need reviewing? What are you going to measure now? Number 7, are you sales and business ready? How sharp are you? How ready? And are you focused? Number 8, have you retreated into a shell? Have you let the doom and gloom and all the negative people out there put you into a shell, make you withdraw? Number 9, what are you going to do next and how? And then number 10, when are you going to do it? And then we're going to talk about a few other things as well. So with no further ado, part 1, why a restart up?
Well, everything has changed. Absolutely everything has changed. I think we could all agree that everyone has changed. It would be a bit surprising if this whole experience hasn't actually changed you as a person in some way. I know we've definitely changed. I mean, look at Dad's hair. So, you know, really looking at how has your business adapted to this new normal? Because from the beginning of the pandemic to where we are now, where we're sort of looking to come out, find a bit more normality with the vaccine and with the roadmap showing that things are going to start opening up, how has your business adapted and how is it going to adapt to this next new normal, the recovery?
I think businesses should look at restartups on a regular basis. Now, restartup, the concept is this: you take your existing business and you look at it again through the prism as if it was a startup. In other words, taking the core of what you do. If this was a startup business, what would you do? How would you set it up? How would you structure it? how would you market it, everything. Treat it like a startup. Now, I call it a startup, I say restart up, because we are having to restart our businesses, many of us. Treat it like a startup. And actually, I've realized that it's something you should do anyway. If your business is robust and it's correct, then if you apply a startup rule to it, it should look how it looks now. The interesting thing will be is when you look at it as a startup and go, that doesn't look like my business now. And if it doesn't look like your business now, is there something you need to change about your existing business so it matches the startup? It's a really interesting process, and we have done it on our business 4 times since February. I think it was it was just over a year ago, a year and 6 days ago, when we were sitting there with £34,000 worth of booked sales training with POs in the hand. And in one day, we lost 6 clients who just basically boom, 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 like dominoes. It was like they all talked to each other. And so we literally went from hero to zero in hours. I'll never forget that day. And we sat there.
In lockdown.
That was before lockdown. They started falling down before lockdown because they could tell things were starting to get really very difficult. And we started to look at our business, and that's how we developed and created the Level Up program, which is something that some of you have had a lot of success and enjoyment with. That's how we started to create the different aspects that we do. That's how we started to expand our coaching program, doing the sales strategy stuff that we do, and all the other things we've added would never have happened had we not been put in that corner. We had to restart our business.
The heart of it is innovation. I think one of the things that makes startups so robust is that at the foundations of them is innovation. So that adaptability to be able to adapt to situations and come up with innovative ways of doing things while thinking lean. So,
isn't this where you talk about your business as a cell?
Oh yeah, I like to think of businesses as a cell, but slightly, well, anyway, so the nucleus of the cell is essentially the heart. Without the nucleus of a cell, that organism cannot live, that cell cannot live. So the people, I believe, are the nucleus. Without the people of a business, the business just won't survive, because it is the people within. So investing time and money in your people, giving them the right training, effective training and tools that they need, whether that's to make them, to support them in this time, or to actually provide them with sales training or leadership training. Are the leaders in your business good leaders? Are they leading people? Do they have the right mindset? Are they a growth mindset, or are they a fixed mindset? And if you're the leader, are you the best leader you can be? Or can you what can you do to become a better leader, or become a better boss? So, I could go deeper into that, but I think we'll leave that for another time. But it's an interesting thought, and a business, to think of a business as a living organism. It has a beating heart, and the people are at the core of that.
People, and I think the customers as well.
Yes,
the customers are in the cell. It is important. So that's the first message. Look at your business like a startup. The re-startup conversation is effectively, and a good book to read, by the way, is The Lean Startup by Eric Ries, Ries. Mentioned it before.
Book.
Well worth doing, but treat your business like a startup. Have a look at it. Now, some people might go, "Oh, it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of work." But if you can't be bothered to look at your business, or for that matter, your role in that nature, in that basis, put that effort in, you've got to wonder if you're doing the right thing. Is it a business you really love doing? Is it a job you really love? Because if it isn't, the advice from me would be do what you love, because if you love what you do, it won't feel like work. Whereas if it isn't something you love, it will be painful. Now, sometimes we can't always be beggars can't be choosers, and I understand all of that. But then make a plan. What is your plan to do what you want to do? The world is open. It's opening up after COVID. It's definitely opening up. You only have to look at the traffic. But it's changed. This is the great reset. I talked about this before after the disruption. The great reset is upon us. Opportunity is there.
Now's a great time as well to do your vision. We recently did our vision, and I have to tell you, the wonderful feelings that flow through you. We were bouncing off the walls with ideas, weren't we? We were just to revisit your 5-year vision and to go through it in depth of where you want to be, where you see yourself, and then you can reverse engineer how you're going to get there. But just actually focusing on why you're doing this and what you want to achieve is so motivating. So I think now, especially when it's been challenging times, there's no better time to motivate yourself, and a vision is a great way to do that.
So when you're talking vision, that really leads us on to point 2, really beautifully. Great segue, Bianca, really world class. When did you last review your sales plan?
So I did a LinkedIn poll. I can't say this is everyone, but out of the people that voted, 52% of the people said that they did have a sales plan, and 48% of people said they didn't have a sales plan. So really interesting, sort of neck and neck, but I'd be interested to know that how many of the people that said they do have a sales plan, when they actually last reviewed it. I'd be interested to know how often you think you should review your sales plan. Please do pop it in the chat. How often do you think you should review your sales plan? So,
do you think some people put in there they had reviewed their sales plan when they hadn't?
Maybe.
I'm not sure I would have, if it had been my pre-enlightened life, if I'd have said, yeah, I had a sales plan, even if I hadn't, and then made it my task to do that. I think that's what I would have done, knowing what I used to be like before.
Some people might have thought it was a business plan.
Could have, yeah.
Which they're actually different, because the sales plan is very specific towards getting your business sales focused. And of course, with sales being at the forefront of any business, it's an engine. It drives your business. Without the sales, there's no fuel. So anyway, so the sales plan we recommend should actually be updated every 3 months, if not constantly. So obviously we're a sales training and consultancy business, but ours, we actually think of it as one big long sales planning journey. And we're always having these conversations, these meetings, and updating our sales plan. So it's really getting your mind sales focused and your business sales focused. It needs constant reviewing.
I think, a sales plan is a living document. It's not something, a lot of people create business plans and then put them in a drawer and never look at them again because they only do it for their boss. Oh, not their boss, their bank manager. It could be the same thing. But a sales plan, living, breathing document. It's always changing, and never more so now with the world in flux. And as they say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And
Very good quote.
Oh no, thank you. I didn't write it. But here's the thing. There's one of the things when you talk about sales plan, and we're not going to talk about how you do a sales plan, something we actually offer clients to work with. But one of the things that we say is this: what customers do you want? Now we have we think there's 3 types of customer.
This is huge.
Should we share it with them?
Yes, 100%.
I think we should. Go on then.
So if you were to think about your business now and all the customers that you have, I want you to start to think about, as I go through A, B, and C, I want you to start to think about where you'd put certain customers and start to identify with the sorts of customers that you have. For me particularly, this was a huge eye-opener when you actually are able to identify and have the courage to make certain decisions. It is just life-changing. So ABC customers. We've got A customers. We love them. They pay on time. You just can't wait to speak to them. You absolutely love working with them. You like them. They're great. They are the best customers you can have, and they're not trouble. And you might even consider them a friend. I know I definitely consider my clients as friends, which is lovely.
Some of them are here tonight. Welcome.
They are. And then you've got B customers. Yeah, they're nice, and you know, they're not bad, they're not amazing, they're good. But here's the thing: if you've got B customers and you sort of feel a bit meh about them, what could you do to take that B customer and make them an A customer? Is there something that's not working? Are you building the relationship properly? Are you investing, you know, the right tools with them? Really have a think about what you can do to actually transform them into an A customer, because it probably is possible. And then we've got the C customers.
I don't think there's any Bs on here tonight, by the way.
Yes, no Bs. And then there's C customers who, honestly, for me, I would say cause stress, worry, just, you know, maybe they don't pay and you've got to spend all that time trying to, and they make you feel not good, and they're difficult, they're troublesome. Often they'll want to pay the lowest price but want the most of your time, and just put you under stress and pressure. And you know, you sort of think, oh, this is not fair. Why have I got this situation? And I feel like we've all been there. We've had these drains, and I'm talking specifically in business. Obviously, there's drains or.
Oh, that's a good point. A friends, B friends, C friends.
Well, it's like having an emotional vampire. You don't want to be surrounded by C customers, because you're just going to, and it's going to take a toll on you. It's going to take a toll on your productivity, your mental stability, your motivation, and your time. It's going to eat away at your time. So we had this huge realization that actually we love working with people like us. And you can choose to work with people that you love. So what do they look like? What does that ideal client look like to you? What is it about them, their personality, perhaps their business, perhaps you've got a niche, whatever it is that you absolutely love, go for that. But the C customers definitely hold some valuable lessons. And if you have the courage, go on, you're itching to say something.
Yeah, I'm going to say something. No, the courage. Two things. First of all, a really interesting thought that's just come from that. Well, these are very good sessions, because while you're talking, I'm listening, which is not something I often do. But sometimes things you say, you strike me and make me think, oh, thoughts. So first thing is, we as a business have got what we call our unwavering beliefs, which is effectively our mission statement, for want of a better word. We're going to talk about mission statements in a bit, but we have three. And the first one is, we only help businesses that sell products or services that are positive and beneficial to the world. We're not interested in helping the unethical sell better. Okay. 2, we only work with clients that we know that if they follow our advice, we'll get a really good return on investment. So the engaged. That's the point of us talking to people that just don't care. But 3, we like to we like to work with people like us and people we like. A customers. Really interesting.
And it's fun. And, you know, when we were looking at our core values, and again, we were revisiting so much. I mean, wow, I've changed as a person so much dramatically over the past year. And when we looked at our core values together the other day, I realized that one of mine is fun. And I never had thought about one of my core values in business being fun. And it is. And that just describes it, because...
Do you find this fun?
Yeah, I do. And I really find
So you wouldn't have thought so 40 minutes ago. Anyway. So I love that. Fun is great. I love fun.
You have fun with your A customers.
I'll just share with you my thought that I just had when we were talking. So we've got A customers, B customers, and C customers. And I think you probably could have A suppliers, B suppliers, and C suppliers in there. But then hard on the thought of that is spreading it out into, what about A friends, B friends, and C friends? Have you got friends a lot of trouble, a bit of a disaster? They let you down. They're always criticizing you. They take up more of your time. You don't really enjoy being with them that much. And other friends, they're great. They're easy. It's just a joy to be with. Because if you're going to remove C, because we always say, get rid of your C, get rid of C customers. They're not worth it. Populate with the A customers that you enjoy working with. They're more profitable. They're easier. You'll have more time to see your family, because a C customer doesn't just drain money from you. They drain time, your energy, the time that you could be spending with your family. They are vampires. And if they're vampires who are customers, then there's got to be vampires who are suppliers that you could replace with better suppliers. And if there's customers and suppliers that are emotional vampires, you bet your bottom dollar that there are friends that are emotional vampires sucking your blood away from you. I've been married to 2 of them. And, anyway. But then if there's friends, what about family?
Oh, it's a whole cycle.
Oh,
but
my God.
Do you know what?
Brilliant. Love it.
I've actually cut ties with some people this year. I think, if anything, it's made you really evaluate so much. And it's like a weight lifted off my shoulders, and I feel like I can shine. But it's an interesting thought. So if getting rid of those friends can help you shine again, what's getting rid of those C customers going to do for your life?
Exactly.
Really interesting point.
And that brings us on to number 3, have trading conditions changed? So here's the thing. Yes, we've had this pandemic, and the pandemic, we hope, is sort of coming to a finish. Has the world changed commercially? And I don't just mean is there less business out there. I'm not sure that, I think in many respects there is more business about to appear. Bank of England said the UK is like a coiled spring ready to bounce back. Another thing I read today was how so many people have become unwitting savers because they just haven't spent money. They've saved loads of money because they're not spending it. Well, that money's going to get spent because people are going to come out of this isolation and just go crazy spending. But has it changed? Have people changed? Have customers changed? Have people changed in what they buy and how they buy, for that matter? Do people buy things differently? And for example, look at us. We're sitting here on an evening. Thank you very much for coming, by the way, on a webinar on Zoom. I mean, a year ago, someone said to you, in a year's time, you're going to spend your evening, you're going to go and watch business television with 2 crazy people who are just going to chat to you for an hour and a half or so. That's what you're going to do. And you know what? You're going to love it. And you're going to go to them.
And you're going to learn.
I'll watch EastEnders or whatever. We've changed. Many of us have become more, people buying, they're going to buy differently. We're going to work differently. The cat is out the bag. I've said this every single webinar. The cat is out the bag, and it's still out the bag. I don't think snow days are ever going to come back to school children.
Yeah, this is so interesting. I actually never really thought of this. Dad said this earlier, that, on a school day, you'd get the day off school, go play in the snow. And now there's online classes.
There's no such thing. In fact, I think for some children, there's no summer holidays. And I think you watch that cat, you watch summer holidays suddenly become, we need to reduce the school summer holidays. Everyone's got to catch up. You don't have 6 weeks, for 5 weeks, 4 weeks. And then it will never go back. So you all know what VAT is, okay? Do you know why VAT was introduced? It's an interesting one. Do you know why VAT was introduced?
No.
Introduced at the turn of the last century, in the late early 1900s. They brought VAT in to pay for the Boer War, which was a war that was happening in South Africa. You want to know why we pay income tax? So income tax was introduced 100 years before that, in the early 1800s, because we were fighting Napoleon in the Napoleonic Wars. They brought a tax in to pay for the war. We're still paying for it today. Still paying income tax.
Wow.
Yeah. So I wonder what tax is going to come and hit us with this. So if there's a big tax that's coming in, the only way you're going to get out of it is by earn more. And that means sell more now. So, mission statement. Do you have a mission statement? And a mission statement is that unwavering belief that we talked about before. And it's something we do with our coaching workshops that we're going to be offering shortly. What is your unwavering belief? What do you stand for? What does your business stand for? What do you really do and why? Because think about it. If you don't have a clear mission statement, your competitors may do. And if they can really explain their mission, why they are who they are and do what they do better than you can, then maybe, as we said in the last session, their why will be easy to understand. And people buy people. Mm-hmm. You want to be the people that they want to buy from because they get you, your passion and everything you stand for. So mission statement, think about it, look at it. If you haven't got one, and I'm hoping a lot of you do, but revisit it. Remember, project restart, everything in renewal. Think
about what you won't budge on. So I hope you don't mind me shouting you out, Mark, but Mark Grant's on this call today of Essex Commercial, a customer of Essex Commercial Finance. And he talks a lot about the sort of cowboys that are out there just to take from people. They don't really care. They're probably not losing sleep at night. And it's actually awful to hear some of the stories. Mark has this, he is morally so correct, and he really does sell with love, and he loves his customers, and he really works hard to get them, the best options possible and so on. But he will not budge on that. And even though at times he might lose out because people might not respect his time, he knows that he can sleep well at night. And I really respect that about him. So he always does right by people. So what don't you budge on? Think about your unwavering beliefs and what is really at your core.
What is non-negotiable?
What is non-negotiable?
Yeah. Like we say, we won't work with
unethical
businesses.
Yeah, unethical businesses. And also, if we don't think we can help someone, we're not gonna work with them, because we only want to work with people that we know we can help. Even if they were going to pay us, it's not something we would do. So have a think about what that means to you and your business. And
therefore, if we're going to be looking at what your mission is, if we go wider than your mission, what are your goals? Life and financial goals. Have they changed? Have they changed since this started? A year ago, did you have different goals for your life and what you wanted to earn for your business? And how many of you have changed or thought about your goals over the last year? Now, as we all know, what should all goals be, Bianca?
SMART goals.
Very good. That's just a pleasure. It's just a pleasure. It is a pleasure.
Yeah. Goals.
Specific, measured.
Measurable.
Yeah.
Attainable. Relevant. Timed.
Yes. I mean, top of the class, you are the master. I am but your acolyte. We talk about, there's lots of stuff on our website about SMART goals. Think about them. What do you want? What do you really want? What do you stand for? This is your mission statement. What do you want? Your goals. It's a restart. Everything is up for grabs. Everything. The opportunity that we now have to get ahead of our competitors. Everyone's been reset almost to zero. Now let's crack on. Let's take on. Let's go for it. And I'm really happy to say this. Other sales trainers on this call tonight, shout out to you, Rupert. Come on, let's crack in. We should have a chat. Do things together. Co-opetition. Work with your competition. Make something thrive. Build upon the ashes, as they say. You know, best time to plow a crop is just after the volcano is finished with all the ash. The soil is so fertile. It's like that. Now it's time to plant those crops that are going to grow. And that is a lot of that is going to do with improving your networking skills, and there's things we can talk about that later. You know, what are you going to do? And that leads us on to point 6, which is KPIs. Now, whether you are a salesperson that really works with KPIs regularly, or you're somebody that doesn't, all businesses are relying on KPIs, key performance indicators. These are the things that measure how successful you are. So what are you going to measure? Now, in the past, businesses just measured money, sales. Are there other measurements that we should be considering now in this brave new world? What other things can we measure?
Well, I think, do you know what we've learned lately is to measure our time for ourselves. Yeah. So literally booking out an hour in your calendar. So to all business owners in this call, I'd love to know how many of you actually take a lunch break, because we don't really. We didn't, and we've become much more strict about measuring our time and how we use it. And we're really trying to stick to it. So booking an hour out in your diary, okay, it might seem a bit off topic and a bit, how's that going to help me in my business? But actually, scheduling in time for you is so effective and powerful. And when we were first asked to do it, I thought we almost resisted because, we've got so much to do and there's all this. But then I remember that time is elastic. And when we want to make time for something, we can make time for it. And everything else does fit around it. Just like if your washing machine breaks and you've got to stay home to let someone in to come and fix it. Well, you'll still get all your work done and it will all happen. It will just all fit around it because time is actually quite elastic.
It's a very good way of explaining it.
Yeah. Anyway, so the power hour where you can just, so I might go and just journal or just go on a walk or whatever it is, you feel so much more motivated and connected, and different thoughts come to you because you're just having a bit of me time. So I'd really urge you guys to try it. And even if you're stressed and think you've got too much on your plate, even more reason to do it. If you're at that point where you're so stressed, can't budge, can't move, we've been there. But if you can make this time for yourself and actually sit with yourself and your thoughts, magic will happen. So that's probably my
I think that's
my
a good point.
2 pence on it.
Measuring your time as opposed to just what goes on, and also maybe even the idea of measuring our personal strength, our personal power, our energy, sort of thing.
Definitely.
Something to measure. So we talked about why we should start up. Why a restart? Because everything's up for grabs. We talked about when did you last review your sales plan and the fact it should be an always living document. And we talked about have trading conditions changed? What's different? Are buyers different? Are customers different? Are the way people buy different? And the people, what they're buying has changed. And maybe even why people buy the things they buy may have changed. Their motivations have changed. And we looked at mission statements, why you do what you do, and when did you last review it, and should you be reviewing it? And then we looked at, have your goals changed? What do you want? What do you want to achieve? Are your life and financial goals different? And then we looked at KPIs, which is, what are we going to measure? And Bianca talked about the idea of measuring your self-happiness, maybe measuring happiness. And there's a really good book called Sell Your Attitude that you can purchase, which will talk about measuring happiness and a 9-step guide to a happier life. Just saying. Many of you have actually got that book, and some of you even read it. But that brings us on to my 7th point, which is, are you sales and business ready? How sharp are you?
How focused are you? Are you organized? Are you productive? This is a big one. Actually, I want to have a shout out to, I think she's in the call.
No, we'll find out in a sec. You can't shout out if she didn't turn up. So, peak times for you.
No.
So are you productive? Are you organized? Do you put that effort in? And more importantly, what's your diary like?
Do you run your diary, or does your diary run you?
Very good, very prophetic. So we've been doing a lot of work with diaries the last few weeks. We've started to use Calendly, we've started to use organizing, and I'll tell you, I feel very bit weird because it's so organized, and I feel like I've got time. Now, have any of you ever played any sports? I used to play a bit of tennis. When I used to play tennis, I was really good. When I was really good for me, don't say I was really good full stop, but when I was getting better, I found that when I was on point, the ball seemed to slow down. I had so much time to hit the ball back. And the same thing when I used to do a lot of water skiing. I felt like I had time. But if I didn't do it for a few weeks, all of a sudden it was all like, everything was coming at me so quickly. So it is this elasticity of time, but it's this sharpness of focus. And nothing is more focus giving than having effective diary planning. And it seems to be everyone is talking about diaries at the moment, don't you think?
Yeah. And do you know what? I think this is a great opportunity as well to say, and I love what you say about Tiger Woods, but we actually have other coaches who help us become the best version of ourselves. I, for example, will admit that my diary runs me, or ran me anyway. And I got to the point during this pandemic at one point where I was just in such overwhelm because my diary was so chaotic. And I was stressed, and actually it made me quite unhappy. And I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, where you just feel like it's constantly running you and you don't have control. And working with that and really getting a hold of it and being strict with it and getting that sharpness into where you're applying your time, who you're applying it to, and putting time in for you is so powerful. And I'm so grateful to have gained, and we often, you can teach something, but it's good to have other people that can guide you into that. And I don't think she is in here, but Sonal is amazing. Sonal Bhaskaran of 5S Projects, and she really assisted me with my diary. And what did you say about Tiger Woods? I love that.
Well, obviously, since our last thing, Tiger Woods has had rather a major car accident, and we wish him well. But he was the best golfer in the world. He had a putting coach. Now, the putting coach couldn't putt as well as Tiger Woods, but he could coach Tiger Woods to putt better. He had a driving coach who couldn't drive as well as Tiger Woods, but he could help Tiger Woods drive the golf ball better, and so on and so on. Coaching is what the best in the world do. Tony Robbins, who is, the biggest, most successful motivational speaker the world has ever seen, has a vocal coach, has a fitness coach, personal trainer. He has a diet coach. He has a writing coach. He has coaches. Make him better. And why wouldn't you? So we've really engaged with this concept of coaching and self-coaching, and not self-coaching, but getting coaches to help us improve. And we think it's really helped. Obviously, as you can tell, I've had a style coach work on me extensively to do with my new image, and I think a lot of people like it. So it's good.
Investing time in you.
Yes, but obviously, I'm joking there about the personal look coach. And thank you all.
But you are investing time in you.
Yeah, very much so.
Because you're really into your hair. Still with my hair bands.
So I think it's really important to invest, develop, grow, and be the best you can be. And also, this comes into motivation. You start to be the best you believe you're the best. And this is really important because it leads lovely on to point 8, which is, have you retreated into a shell? Have you let the negativity of what's out there derail you? Has it seeped in to drag you down under the table with all the other negatives? Because you know that some of your competitors have done that. Some of them are living, oh, there's no business out there. What's the point? I'm in lockdown. All the kids are driving me mad. I've got to do this. It's homeschooling. It's just no point. What's the point of doing it? And I know it's the pandemic and the change of circumstances has affected a lot of business. After all, we literally lost our business, not even overnight, in a space of an hour and a half. It was I remember the beginning of February, saying to Bianca last year, oh, it's unbelievable. Look at this. We've got this. Where we've come and how much we've grown. We've got all these clients. And I'm going to Scotland, 7-day trip around Scotland with a client, £1,800 a day, 7 days. And it was a really good client as a friend. I'm excited about that. We're going to do this. It was buzzing. And that day when it all went. So I know from personal experience what that feels like. We didn't let it affect us, did we?
But before that, we had a startup, a tech startup, and we were used to the fast world of the startup sphere. And you know, the funny thing is that it'd been,
because we had actually
this is a long story. We'd been through a lot, we'd been in disaster recovery, and then
when I think about that, we had just got ourselves back from our own personal pandemic effect, where we 5 years of work had been destroyed, and we built it up again and destroyed it,
which was quite traumatic in itself.
Well
and then we had to restart. I know.
High five. But key thing is, it's not what happens to you that defines you. It's what you do, how you react to what happens.
But I have to say, I'm so great, and I know you are too. I'm so grateful for everything that has happened, because it's been a huge learning curve. And actually, what the pandemic did was, because we treated our business like a startup again, we went straight back to, we literally had a huge drawing board, you know, thinking about what are our best skills and how are we going to change what we do, because we need to adapt now. And what are we going to do? And we have created some beautiful programs and built relationships with clients, and we've made, and we still are making our business exactly how we want it, and attracting the business we want, and so on. And it is beautifully growing, and we've really come into our own and realized exactly what we want and how we're going to get there, which is kind of what we're trying to inspire with this. And sometimes the hardest times can bring, it's like the yummiest fruit. I don't know what the saying is.
You know, we've invested a lot of time over the past year, reading and investing in self-development and learning, and there's lots of great learning schools out there. But we thought we'd just each share the book of what book has been our pandemic book of vision. And for me, it is Lean Startup. But I've talked about Lean Startup so much. I'm going to talk about another one. And it's one that I know people like Aiden and others here I've talked about. And that is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. For me, that's been my lockdown go-to for motivation and building self and building oneself up, particularly when you think about it's the small things we do that have a big effect, not the grand statement. It's the day in, day out stuff that we do. I think it's an absolutely brilliant book, and I highly recommend it to everyone. What would you say your book is?
So mine's not actually a business book. mine is the Wim Hof method. I discovered Wim Hof last year, and I sort of got this fascination with it and tried to get all my family to join in with me to do it. And at first I was just met with mad looks, but now it seems to become a trend. So people are like, yeah, let's do it. But anyway, if some of you might have already heard of it, it has built so much mental resilience for me, and helped me with a lot of things. So it's essentially what it is taking cold showers. It's cold therapy. So Wim Hof is otherwise known as the Iceman. So he's a bit of a mad Dutchman, and he takes these ice baths for like 20 minutes. I'm not saying that's what you've got to do, but what he teaches is this whole program of breath work and taking cold showers. And you sort of start between 15 to 30 seconds and take it up to 2 minutes. And it is one of those things where it's that unbearable cold, and you push through it and do your breath with it. And you unlock parts of yourself. It's pretty awesome. And his story is incredible. He's a really inspirational man. And the method it boosts your immune system. It can ease symptoms of depression. It increases your energy. It increases willpower and motivation. It improves concentration and improves well-being. And these are all scientifically proven. He's been working with scientists to prove this method and how it can impact people. But really recommend looking into it. It's really cool. And I was actually supposed to, yes, love it. James is very familiar. So my boyfriend actually, for Christmas, it was the most awesome Christmas present you can even imagine. He arranged for us to go and do the official Wim Hof method over a whole weekend of breath work and the ice baths and everything. And just so we were so excited to step outside our comfort zone and go and do this mad experience, and just think, okay, this year's been mad. Let's just go and do something and grow from it. And it got cancelled. So hopefully we can do that again. Yeah, Jill said she's been doing it for the past week. Awesome. I really recommend it, guys. You can check him out on YouTube, and just get curious.
Very
anyway.
Good. So, the idea of fighting back, of not retreating into that shell, your competitors are sitting there bemoaning how bad it is out there. Get out there, get positive, get yourself motivated, whatever it's going to be. And if you're not sure, you're feeling a bit, find something, a book, an activity, something that is going to get you increasing your energy, getting yourself going again, because that's what Restart Up is, renewal. We keep going. So, what are you going to do next? What now? Because what's happened has happened. What's gone is gone. One thing that we'll always say about the therapy work that we've done in the past is that you can't undo the past. You can change how you view it, and you can change how you think about it, but you can't undo what has happened. All that you can do is change what's ahead. Now, the question I asked in the last session is this: when is the best time to plant an oak tree? And the answer is 25 years ago. When's the second best time to plant an oak tree? The answer is now, literally today. So plant your oak tree and decide what your oak tree is going to be. Because if you look at what we've said in this webinar, look at Project Restart. Understand why you're doing it. Think about when you reviewed your plan. Do you have a plan? What's your plan? Make your plan. Consider how trading conditions have changed. So make it relevant to what's happening now. Because you know what they say? They used to say, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got. But in business terms, if you do what you've always done, you will not get what you've always got, because everything has changed. The game has changed. So you have to change, and your game has to change, and your plan has to change. Everything is up in the air. Go on.
I've got a really good question for all of you. Are you coachable? So do you feel that you are coachable? Do you like being coached? Does it make you feel awkward and uncomfortable? Is it not really something that you like? Because I just wrote this down as a no. I think if you feel that you can't, or that something isn't quite making sense, or you could do something better, then I would say seek an expert's advice, or seek someone that can help you or coach you on how to do that better. And don't be afraid to ask, or to let go of let go of the responsibility. Is that when you take on a PA and you don't want to hand anything over because you're just so used to doing everything yourself? And the idea of actually handing things over and giving trust over to someone else because it's your business is quite scary. But actually having those people around you to support you and help you and drive you to be an even more efficient engine for your business is really powerful. Okay, so look, we've got a message: formerly resistant to coaching, now far more open to advice and help. Okay, and it really is beneficial. And thank you for being so open about that, Mark. I think also perfectionism is something that can hold a lot of people back. If we have any perfectionists here, I know I am a recovering one.
But I think the thing is, what is planning? Because, plan what you're going to do. Think about how the world has changed when you make that plan. Think about why you're doing this. What's your mission statement? What's your unwavering belief? Why do you do this? Think about your goals. Have goals. What are they? Are they relevant to you now? Because your goals of a year ago may have changed. In fact, I'd be surprised if they haven't changed. Surprised if what's happened hasn't changed how you look at your life and what you want. What was important a year ago may not be as important now. Review it. Look at yourself. Think in. Don't just, I've always done this, because that's gone. There's an opportunity for, as I said, renewal and change. What are you going to measure? What are the things that are important to measure? Are you ready? Are you sharp? Are you tuned up? If not, tune yourself up. There's lots of things available. You're here tonight, hopefully, at getting something out of it to tune yourself up. Be positive. Get out there. Get out of that shell. Remember, a lot of your competition are in that shell. So they're not here. They're not doing what you're doing. They're sitting there waiting for the doors to open. You're already making sure you're opening those doors. You're taking the battle to them before they're even out of bed. So what are you going to do next? And how are you going to do it? This is what it's all about. Number 10, Bianca.
When are you going to do it? Are you going to talk about doing it, or are you going to do it? This is how often do we tell ourselves, yeah, I'm going to do that, get so excited, I'm going to do that, and then it just sits, it goes in the back, it's not a priority. So I'm going to do you might say, oh, I'm so excited, I'm going to do my sales plan, I'm going to dive right in, I'm going to just get it over and done with. And then you just have it on your to-do list, and it's like that frog that never gets eaten. It just gets piled up by other more urgent tasks. This is an urgent task.
It's
your sales plan
task.
Is the urgent task.
This is the most important month of your business life. I think so. We're going from complete lockdown to possibly the unlock and people starting to get going again. It is like the start of the Grand Prix, or the restart of the Grand Prix. Grand Prix has been stopped. You might have been at the back, but everything is closed up. You got a chance to get some points on the board here now. You might have been leading and everyone's caught up behind you. You've got to get a good start. But if you weren't leading and you were mid-pack, you've got an opportunity to get onto the podium now. it's a great opportunity. I'm very excited. I've never actually been more excited about a month ahead than I have this month.
I wonder, so do you feel that from the pandemic, you've got more time or less time? Do you feel like you've got busier in the pandemic? Because I know a lot of people that have actually got busier. Their diaries are fuller than ever before. And I think now that we don't have to travel for meetings, you can actually just do it back to back, and we can fit so much more in. But how are you going to make that time for yourself? If in your vision it is that on Fridays I don't want to work, how are you going to factor that in? If one of your goals is I only want to work 3 days a week, how are you going to do that? You've got to really think. And the sales plan is part of understanding how you're going to achieve your vision, because without that sales plan and that sales strategy, and that razor sharp focus on how you're going to achieve what you want to achieve, that whole achieving your vision is going to seem a bit foggy, and it might
Go on.
It might be harder to actually achieve. So it's so important, and actually when you do it, it's quite cathartic to go through and really open up your business and go inward.
So Leighton asked us a question: do we have coaches?
Yeah.
And how long have we been doing it? Well, funny enough, we have coaches, and
we've got different types of coaches. We've got coaches we share. We've got coaches that we work with in business, and then personal coaches, and I think it's important.
Interestingly, I like to feel that I coach Bianca, but funnily enough, I think she coaches me back as much as the other way around. I certainly think that that's part of what we do, and we've got we've added to our stable of what we offer with a sort of additional coaching. We've been going through a coaching certification over the past few weeks, and we'll invite you to something called Elevate, which is how to elevate your business referrals event on March 17th, which you'll get an email about because you came to this, to really get your business inspired for 2021. Ultimately, it's looking at how you're going to build that network, that referral network that's going to drive who do you invite? Are they the right people? Are they going to be motivated to help you drive your business forward? And I think it's an exciting time. So it's a good question, Leighton. I really appreciate that. And I think that if you have worked out what you want and you've made plans, you're much more likely to achieve them if you just wander around aimlessly. Bianca, you were going to speak, and I didn't stop.
No, it's an interesting topic of coaching, and obviously we are coaches, but I love being coached. And James, who's in here tonight, has put but you guys can't see it, but he's said that he's doing a coaching course at the moment, and he's with 8 others who are leaders, own businesses, and starting new ventures. And it's great to be in a group and realize many feel the same and have other ideas. And this is so brilliant. Thank you for putting that, James, because I totally agree. When you're in group coaching, or when you open yourself up to others, you learn from people, because you learn from other people's mistakes. You learn from sharing your mistakes, and the back and forth and hearing other people express themselves, I think also inspires you to open yourself. And there's an element of unlocking parts of you through others unlocking with you.
It's like having a supercharged referral group as well, because we were in a coaching group and been for some time now, and we found it really phenomenal. I mean, this is us. It's so nice to be the client, actually, for once. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but we're getting so much out of it. And what we're excited about is that we'll be in April launching our referral group. So a coaching group that we're going to host together for probably a maximum of maybe 10 people, to really drive and go forward. And it's a 6-month program, very exciting stuff. So we're happy to have a chat with anyone that wants to talk about that.
Well, it's ongoing, isn't it? Because this
I
particular,
sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, this particular type of coaching, it's ongoing, and you keep revisiting each bit, and as you change it, you keep adapting. So it's like consistent programming of you programming your business and elevating yourself to achieve those goals. But we established our emotionally charged connection, for example.
God, that was a session.
Which, I mean, people cry, and at one point I was crying.
Did you enjoy that? Are you enjoying the whole experience?
Massively enjoyed it, because
fun.
It really takes you outside of everything that you think about your business, and it just transports you, and it really connects you in your heart center with why you're doing what you're doing, and also how to connect with others. And that's really where we realized that, of course, we love working with RA customers, and they are people like us. You resonate with people and you connect to people, and that's what we're all out here to do. So I'm a huge fan of group coaching, because I think in a time where there's so much disconnection, there's a real connection that gets built with groups. I love it. I love the energy of it.
I feel something that's quite interesting. So when we did this, we sort of went on this journey, and both Bianca and I sort of went like that. And it looked like in the very early stage of this whole thing that we were literally going asunder. And and at one point I thought, this could be done. But it wasn't, we weren't going like that. We were doing this. And we came back together, because they didn't actually let us do certain bits together. And we were closer on our route together, because we hadn't realized that we were both on the route. It was something magical.
It's a journey, isn't it? And you realise things about yourself.
It's changed me, and that's only been, we're in a few months or whatever it is. So really interesting stuff. So look, I hope this has been of use. I hope you've got some value out of this. We've got actually 3 recordings that are going to be put on. We've got confidence, the confidence session. We've got the what is your why, and this one, all going to be coming out in the next week, which we're quite excited about as part of Bianca and Adam TV. So hopefully you can come to that. And if you're interested in coming along to Elevate, let us know. And of course, we've got next month's webinar, which is still to be dated. And the exciting thing about next month's webinar is that is Bianca's choice. She's going to be the one that comes up with the topic, the title. She's going to run it all. I am merely her willing acolyte to assist her on that one. So I'm really looking forward to that, because the pressure's on her now. But good. Hope, please, you've enjoyed it.
Has anyone got any questions?
Well, I'll tell you what we can do. Why don't we? Because it's nice. It's an intimate group time. Why don't we allow everyone to talk? Should we do that?
I think you have to. I don't know how to do that.
Just allow to talk. Click on.
I think it's what you just bring everyone in.
Can you bring them all in? Turn it into. Maybe you can't. I don't know if you could turn it to. Maybe not. Well.
Actually,
anyway.
no, because Juliet once said, it'd be nice if people could. It's a bit funny. We're like talking. We do talk to ourselves. We can see ourselves and no one else.
I don't know. We don't know what we're doing really, to be honest with you. We never have done. No, that's all. So anyway, guys, look, do the proper Zoom version next time. This is the more expensive version. Juliet, thank you for that. Guys, thank you very much, Mark. First on the door. Oh, by the way, before anyone goes, I've talked about it before. If anybody wants access to our time management program, it's free. Drop us an email, adam@cellularattitude.co.uk. Bianca, you've got our emails from the event. Let us know, and we can certainly send that to you, because it's very, very useful online training that will help you become more organised and everything else. So we don't charge for this sort of service that we offer.
And get rid of those time robbers. It's really, really valuable. I think it's about 3 hours in total, but it's online learning, so you can go in and come out and go back in again. You don't have to necessarily
spend 3 hours, save a lifetime.
Yeah. And gosh, we didn't really talk about time management and the productivity of that. You know, we do go a bit off topic, us two. Oh, lovely to see all your messages, guys. Thank you.
Good. Well, we hope you enjoy it. We will be back in April, but we've got other events during the year, during the month. I think.
Yes, actually, I'll be speaking on the 12th of March at an event called The Business of Charity. So if anyone represents a charity or knows any charity leaders and would like to invite them along, please do get in touch with me. I'll be happy to share the information. And I will be talking about the Anti-Sales Manifesto and why it's the formula for fundraising success in 2021. So would love, you guys can come along as well if you want. I'm flying solo.
Am I invited to come along? Do you want me not though?
No, of course you can come along. I'd love you to come and support me.
When is it?
But it's going to be me on my own.
When is it?
12th of March. I'm speaking at 3 in the afternoon. It's a Facebook event. So if anyone's interested in joining, let me know. And yeah, I'd love you to come. Excellent.
Well, look, you'll all get an email thanking you for coming off course in the next thing. And as I said, if you have any questions for us, please email us. We are very much the open of open doors. And yeah, it's good. Oh, hold on. It's a good point. We never do this. You've got to look at the camera. I didn't like that one. Let me get the hair out. There you go. Now you can do that.
Take it. Thanks everyone for coming.
Thanks guys. Listen, we'll see the video soon and see you later. Keep well.
Bye everyone. Have a lovely evening.